Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 145 in the home studio here with Chris and Lorenzo.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I think I've got over from my post KOH depression.
Is that post-party blues?
Yeah,
PPD?
pretty much. It's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
It's a real thing. You have so much fun down there at the Hammers, and then you come home back to reality. And my reality isn't too bad, but it's not KOH.
No.
It's not KOH. Nothing's KOH.
The reality is we get back and so, man, I got to clean all this stuff. And
I'm still cleaning. I was cleaning today, 2 weeks later.
That's what you were
3 weeks
saying.
later. How much later is this? It's much
like
later.
It's like 3 weeks.
I finished the camper. The camper's done. Camper's done.
I wish I could say that.
Jeez.
The exterior of my camper is done, but I will say that once you get back and the reality of real life kind of kicks in, you're like, okay, we got to go back to work, and then you need to start balancing your family life with your work life, with your cleaning life, and
Clean
it's like,
life.
I don't have a clean life, but it's like for all of us, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate, especially the ones that went to KOH this year. I mean, to think that you put everything on hold for however much time you spent.
A week plus.
Yeah, well, we were there 10 nights.
Yeah.
So using our perspective for this discussion, I mean, it's like everything was on hold for 10 days and nights.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I checked in at work, and I think you checked in it with your work situation too when we were down there. But it's like, it's not the same as actually being there at work, and then you kind of walk into this shit show, if you will, of ketchup, and not ketchup like the red stuff you put on a cheeseburger
or fries, freedom fries,
but catching up to work, and the amount of emails and the fires you got to put out,
exactly.
And all the other things that have cropped up while you've been gone. So it took me over a week to get caught up on that nightmare. And I'm kind of back in the groove at work right now, but like you said, I mean, your camper sits here at your house at the home studio, and you can work on it at your leisure. Mine, unfortunately, I don't have that opportunity. So, I have not. After cleaning the exterior of my camper from KOH, which was horrible, I will say. I think I killed every bug in the Central Valley on the drive home. And the bees. I mean, the weather was so good that the orchards that were on either side of I-5 had put their hives out to start, because all the
pollination,
all the trees were in bloom.
Yeah.
So the bees, if you're not aware, listeners, of what bees do, but they pollinate plants and they're important to agriculture.
The birds and the bees. You want to talk about the birds and the bees, Chris?
Not really.
Come on, let's get into it.
But I must have. I flew through a swarm of those poor things. They had hives on one side of the freeway, and there were trees on both sides in bloom, and they were flying across the freeway, and I
didn't even see that.
Oh my God, dude! I had dead bee bodies in the bed of my truck when I took the camper off.
Really? I didn't have that.
Oh,
you were
crazy.
What, an hour ahead of us or something?
Yeah, 45 minutes, something like that. Yeah.
Huh? I didn't see that, but I was going, maybe faster than you in the Dodge.
You were in a Ford. And you couldn't go very fast.
So. No, I'm saying that you could see stuff because you're going slow. All mine was blur.
Right. Okay. Whatever. So, but we're kind of getting back into the groove of things, and the post-party blues, like Jason mentioned, is a real thing. I've experienced it numerous times throughout my life, and wish we were back. And
well, what was interesting is I cleaned out the camper, vacuumed everything, and then so today I physically wiped down all the walls and everything, and the dirt that was on just the walls and the ceiling, and it's like, oh my gosh.
And I mean,
and it's closed up, but I had the door open. Anyways, it's just crazy how much dust there was this year.
I when I looked in my camper after I washed the exterior, I had a major failure in my plan of washing the camper. I did the exterior before I did the interior, and the exterior was it was in a field and it became mud. I didn't want to drag mud into the camper, so I bailed on the interior at that point. But I was looking inside, and there was dust stuck to the door going to my bathroom.
Oh yeah.
I mean, on the wall.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. And then I had the coffee grinder. I brought a coffee grinder and stuff, and I shoved it in a cabinet. And, the cabinets even get filled with dust from, it's like, oh, my gosh. But it's clean now. It's certified.
Certifiable?
It's certifiable. I'm ready for the next trip, which will be like a month from now or whatever. But anyways, it's done. It's washed out. I washed my jacket that I had in the buggy, my big like Carhartt-esque jacket.
Not the battery powered one.
No. This was the Granite Bandage jacket.
Oh yeah.
And man, that thing! I took the blower to it. I shook it out, and it was still just dust was coming out of it. So I finally put that in the washing machine today, and it's nice and clean now. So, anyways, we're back at it, but. It's done.
Normal life is here.
Washed the last bit of KOH dust away. Actually, the buggy I haven't touched, so I know there's a bunch of dust and dirt in there that needs to be pressure washed. But we'll do that later.
Buggy's parked until Fordyce, right?
Yeah, no. That'll come out here sooner than that. But I've got to work on the rear axle. I've got a rear axle seal leaking at the hub.
Oh,
on that 60, and I'm going to pull the rear diff cover. I've never pulled the rear diff cover since I've owned it.
Scary.
It's got oil. I've checked the oil, and it's been clean.
Well, as long as
so there's no reason
leaking,
to. And it's a spool. I mean, it's not like I got to worry about spider gears or anything.
No.
So I'm going to. That will be my last bit. That and the antifreeze situation, which obviously worked. It's got antifreeze because it would have froze down there.
It had just enough.
It would have froze.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's considering how cold it got at night and in the early part of the morning. Nothing that I know of in our group had any issues in our campers or our rigs.
No, luckily, because it would have happened because it was down in the teens, like we said.
Frick, it got cold, man.
So, anyways, you heard part one. We're rolling into part two now because it was a long week. We got pretty detailed.
Oh, we did. And we have a few other business items to cover before we blast.
Okay, let's do it.
I do want to give a quick shout out to the Snail Trail boys.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I do.
Okay, you do it.
So, as you guys all know, the land use issue, especially Oceano Dunes, has been at the forefront of our fight, if you will, for the last couple of years. Well, going on more than a couple of years, but it's certainly been at the forefront big time for the last couple of years. And with the, California Coastal Commission and all this nonsense about shutting it down. The fight continues, and I'm not going to get into we're not going to get into any detail at all. I just want to give a shout out to the Snail Trail boys. They did an excellent job of laying it all out and explaining it to everybody in their episode 274. So
they did.
So please, if you're interested, and hopefully you are, go back to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast and listen to episode 274 to get the whole lowdown on the Oceano Dunes story and how and where we're at this point in time.
And if I can say this, I mean, these are never fun topics to talk about or like highly entertaining. It's not like interviewing Shannon Campbell or anything, right. But it's necessary. And this is the fighting the good fight. And, it needs to be said. People need to be educated in the off-road community of what's going on in the bullshit politics behind the scenes. And thank you guys, Tyler and Jimmy, for throwing that out there and covering that in great detail. I don't think we can do any better, so we'll just refer you to that episode, like you say. And
we might be able to do better. But
we probably could, but we'll just let them handle that. We'll do the Ultra 4. They can do the politics. How
That's
about
right.
that?
Oh, perfect.
Toyota politics.
Anyway, good job.
They both don't work.
Shout out to Snail Trail on that one. That's good. That's good stuff.
No, it was good. Good job, boys. We'll give a little golf clap. Do we have a little golf clap for them? Oh, wow. Wow. A rim shot. Oh, boy. Oh, Lorenzo.
Oh, my God. I'm so...
Lorenzo is on it tonight.
Man.
Good job, Lorenzo. He's still bitter about being kidnapped.
Well, and then catching COVID and not being able to party at KOH. So
he didn't make it down to KOH.
No,
he had COVID.
You know, did you any signs of a party at the house or anything?
Nope. Zero signs. It was everything was cleaned up, hazmat when I got here. So yeah,
Wow.
Jimmy actually asked, about Lorenzo, and he was concerned, and I thought he was concerned because he was like not there. He's like, "Where's Lorenzo?" And I said, "He's home. He's got COVID." He goes, "Oh, okay." I go, "Well, you were going to steal him again anyway." He goes, "No, it's been played out. That's already happened." But I didn't. Lorenzo didn't trust him. I didn't trust him, so he stayed home.
Well, trust is broken.
And he had COVID, so he had to stay home. He had to isolate.
That's right. Quarantine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so, and then we have
the donkey COVID test.
What about it?
Yeah, it's rectal. It's an ass test. Yeah, just saying it. It's not good. So
how was that?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Lorenzo didn't like it, so
he's kind of not nodding his head.
No,
he's shaking.
No, he doesn't even want to talk about it anymore. He's over it. He's over it. He's good. He's healthy. Everything's good now.
The ass doesn't like having his ass touched.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, well,
look at him. Anyways,
all right,
let's move on. This has gone off the rails already.
All right, so a couple things further on before we start the second part of this episode is we got some new reviews.
Oh, hey, there we go.
I guess people still like us.
That's good.
We got a few listeners.
Are we giving away a winch? Oh no, that's Snail Trail.
No, we're not giving away a winch, but we are.
We got a good giveaway coming up.
We do.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at some point in the near future. Yep.
All right.
So, but anyway, we got one. I'm not sure where this is from. Oh, it's from the United States of America. It's
USA.
Foghorn
USA.
Leghorn. Foghorn.
Are
Leghorn.
you serious?
Yeah.
It's Foghorn Leghorn. I say, we got that on there, right?
Yeah, we do.
Where is it? Let's see how good Lorenzo is. Come on, Lorenzo. Foghorn Leghorn. I say, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an emergency.
Fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an emergency.
Perfect.
That's the best
Good
one.
Good job, Lorenzo.
Foghorn Leghorn. There you go. All right.
Okay, so this is titled Second Best Off-Road Toyota Podcast.
Oh, we're not a Toyota podcast.
I know. Well, that's the title, dude. I'm just reading what I'm seeing, Great job on the KOH interview. Big clapping.
A clapping icon.
Clapping icon, yep.
What's that called?
Clapping? I don't know.
Emoji.
Emoji. That's right.
Clapping
emoji. Yes. So cool. Okay. Thank you, Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah, we had a ball down at KOH and scoring a couple of cool interviews, especially the Shannon Campbell one was incredible.
And the Wicks.
And of course, D-Mill with a welder. What's his name? Derek?
Yeah, what's his name? Chris? D-Mill was great. He's a great interview, I got to say.
He's a good guy. I like
very, just on it. He knows his shit, and I'm impressed with D-Mill, even though he's got I question his choice in vehicles with that
not much Toyota left.
No, there's no Toyota left.
And
that's why we interviewed him.
But he lunched a freaking Dana 60 on the race, so he didn't finish. DNF'd, unfortunately. But he'll be back stronger and better than ever next year for sure. So. All right, and then moving on, we have another 5-star review from Australia.
Ooh, another Aussie.
I know we have 4 Aussies now.
Hey, we're taking over. What's our ranking in Australia now?
I don't know.
We in the top 100?
I don't know. No, not so much. Oh, wait, we're in the top 165.
165 right now?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. We got something going for us.
As we speak, yeah.
Well, there's there's probably 4 million podcasts. So.
Well, we can get into that whole discussion later.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy.
Anyways. Okay, go.
FSR 100 from Australia.
Okay.
Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, 5-star review. Great podcast, good content, and a great enthusiasm for all things wheeling. Appreciate it all the way from Australia. Woo!
That's awesome.
I like it.
We got to get to Australia one of these days, Chris.
That's a long flight.
Well, but it would be worth it, man. Spend a couple weeks out there and go out on the outback with them.
Right. To get a rocket to get there faster.
No, well, yeah. That would be good.
No, it'd be a blast. I definitely want. That's on my bucket list to get to Australia. And obviously getting our rigs there would be a little challenging. But
no, we ain't getting the rigs over there. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have #Chris money.
Well, neither does Chris. Apparently,
put it
Chris
in a shipping container and then get stuck out in the ocean for freaking 16 years.
Let's talk to talk to Cody Wagner about that.
He sold Pretty Penny.
I know. That's
and
I heard.
Kiwi.
And Kiwi. Everything's
They're
for sale.
Everything's sold, and then he bought a trophy truck, and
he's having another buggy built.
Jesse Haynes building another one. That's going to be badass. So, anyways,
how much better can it be?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it going to have that reversed
it's got to.
torque transfer case box thing that you talked about?
It's got to be.
It's going to be badass. Well, that'll be in the future, and we'll talk to Cody about it hopefully at some point.
Okay.
Before we get into the show, the rest of it.
Wow, this is going to be the longest intro ever.
I know. Well, I bought a new truck.
Oh shit! Now we got to talk about that.
Well, we'll just.
It's a Chevy.
It's a Chevy.
It's a Chevy, man.
Yeah, I got a Chevy.
Took the Chevy to the levee.
We can talk about it for the detail of a future episode.
No, that's fine. Let's talk about it. Whatever.
I'm happy. It's a new truck. So I have a daily driver.
It's got that
again.
new car smell.
It has a new car smell. I got a Chevy Colorado.
And you paid $11,000 over invoice.
Negative, sir. Nothing over invoice. Actually, nothing over MSRP. No dealer markup.
Okay.
Got 0% financing, and got a rebate from Chevrolet because I'm a new customer. Never owned a Chevy before.
Really?
Yes, listeners will be like, "Well, he's had a Chevy." Well, I've had a Chevy's, but I've never owned a Chevy.
You personally have never owned a Chevy in your name.
I've had Chevy company trucks, but never owned one personally in my name, which I do now. So it's a neat little truck. It's an LT crew cab Colorado in white, and it's nicely equipped, and it's 2-wheel drive, which is perfect for commuting.
Yeah. And what kind of mileage are you getting on that thing?
27 right
27. You're making money.
With the V6.
Ooh.
Now, I drive like a little old man, which I am.
Does it do second gear scratches when you get in it?
I don't know what that means.
That means like you accelerate in first gear, and then it goes to shift into second, and it goes...
No, it doesn't do that. At least not that I know of. No chirping the tires.
Okay, all right.
At least I haven't tried.
All right.
Still breaking it in, dude. It's less than 400 miles.
Well, that's how you break it in. You got to break it in how you're going to drive it.
Well, I don't drive it
You're
like
an
this.
old man. You're like, you're adjusting the radio.
That's how I get 27 miles.
You got a seat heater?
No.
No seat heater?
No.
I will
seat
never
heater.
own another truck without a seat heater.
Or a butt
Love
massager.
seat heater. Well, the massager is an added bonus, but the seat heater is just every vehicle has to have a seat heater. Mandatory.
I come down to the home studio to record, and Jason's just driving around the neighborhood with his massage seats
Exactly.
on, just doing loops.
Exactly.
What are you doing? I'm just getting massaged.
I need it.
Got a happy ending coming up soon.
I need it. I got aches and pains, man.
Aches and pains. Well, that's
Hopefully
what
all
happens.
that ends soon.
Right. So yeah, new truck. I'm super happy about it. Now I can the stress of trying to load and unload my toys and camper and all that stuff is behind me now. I have a daily driver, and I can load the camper and not stress.
That's nice. It's nice. A good looking truck. You got the right color, the easy keep clean white.
Yes, sir.
So that's good.
Yep. It's a good
so when's this episode going to launch? On March 1st, Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's a day after surgery. If anybody that's not close to me knows,
you're getting surgery. You're getting
having
operated
surgery.
on.
Addictomy.
Lobotomy.
Lobotomy. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to it to being hopefully pain free after whatever the recovery is, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Well,
I've never spent the night in the hospital. I've been outpatient everything for 50 years of my life.
Well, just hopefully you don't get Nurse Ratched.
Well, I know Nurse Ratched. I'm hoping for some good looking nurses.
They don't exist except for in urology.
In urology.
So if you're getting a vasectomy, then you get a hot nurse. But if
is that what it is?
You're getting an addictomy,
you get shaved.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me, I know for sure on this.
Oh wow, you're speaking from experience.
I am.
Wow.
This has become the.
Are we going there?
No, we're not. We're done. So. Anyway, we wish you the best for your surgery, and I will be checking in with you on Monday.
I won't be coherent on Monday.
I'll be
you should probably check in on Tuesday.
I'll check in with your mom. Make sure you're doing well.
Yeah, so I've got a two cervical discs being replaced in my neck, C5, C6, C7, right in that range.
Is he going to fix your face?
No, there's no fixing that. That's a whole nother deal, and I couldn't afford that. I can't even afford this deal. This is amazing.
Wow.
I can't. I mean, I'm hitting full deductible. I'm self-insured, and well, I mean, I have insurance, but I pay for it. And it's just stupid amount of money.
Everything's expensive today.
But, you know, what do you put a price on to be pain-free or hopefully pain-free?
Well, but I mean, think about the number if you didn't have insurance. You don't even want to think about that.
No, you can't. You can't.
No.
I'd have to sell my house. And I wouldn't sell the buggy. I wouldn't sell the buggy or the camper because I could live out of both of those. So
might sell
just like Amber says, right? You can't raise a house, but you could live in a buggy.
Sell a Ford.
Yeah, I could do that too. Got
a few. You only have 8 of them.
But anyway, so hopefully this isn't the last podcast from Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. Or
Negative Ghost Rider. We're not even going to think that. So,
but if it is, I want my buggy to go to good use. And all the wine and bourbon to go to good. I want a hell of a party.
What wine?
What wine? Oh, it's already gone. Perfect.
There's no wine.
It's already been sold
Jim,
off at
back
auction.
off, Jim. Back off.
Exactly. So, I'll be recovering the month of March. So if Instagram is a little quiet, or maybe it's going to be super busy because that's all I can do. I don't know. I don't know what this recovery is going to look like.
Well,
but we'll see.
We will see.
We will see.
So all your pray everybody for Jason's recovery, quick recovery from his surgery next on the 28th of February, which will be a day before this drops.
Before this launches. So I'll be in, hopefully home on the 1st in the evening.
Yep.
Sitting back in my lazy boy.
Drinking some bourbon.
Wouldn't that be great? With narcotics, painkillers. Just chase it with some old elk.
This is how Wheeling Wine and Whiskey rolls.
No, I don't do that.
No,
that's not going to happen. No.
All right. Well, I'm wishing you the best.
Well, thank you.
All right. So anyway,
so on that note,
let's roll into some more positive stuff. Jason's surgery is going to be very positive, but part two of
KOH recap.
Our
Monumental.
Our experiences.
So we're going into our day at Chocolate Thunder right now. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, Thursday morning. Yes. You guys rolling into do the recovery.
7 a.m. We were at Chocolate Thunder, and our first vehicle through was like at 11:45.
So what did you guys do in the interim?
We picked up cans, like some beer cans, but a lot of Trulies and Kirkland brand Trulies, and it's just stupid. Three garbage bags full, and then the BFG Tread Lightly team came through after us at 9:30 or something, 9:30, and they picked up more on the sidelines. We were in Chocolate Thunder in the Terra Dome itself, but they were on the outskirts picking up on it's just stupid. So.
That's a whole nother rant or discussion.
Pick up your shit, people.
We'll get into that.
But that's not our listeners. So, anyways,
no, it better not be our listeners.
Moving on.
So let's roll it. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right.
That night because we had to be out there at 7:15.
Yeah, my recovery gear is still gone.
Is it really? You're missing one strap? I got one in the garage.
My strap's gone.
I got one in the garage.
We'll look at it afterwards.
Okay, I got one in the garage. You can have it. It's a little rat-tat-tatted up, but it's there. So we did, I gathered up a bunch of straps and gear, and apparently your strap, and thank you very little. Ed straps. Ed gave me like 3 straps. I got soft shackles. I had D-rings. I had snatch blocks, and Tyler gave me one of those cool Factor 55 winch point thingies. It was cool. I never used it, but it was neat to look at. We never had that difficult a recovery where we had to use it. Anyways, so we got out there, at 7:15, get our rig set up.
You guys left camp earlier.
Yeah, we didn't see a rig till like right before noon.
Yeah, no,
but they wanted us out there early. So we got out there, dude. And I know every morning the BFG crew, Holly Fowler and Tim Cromer and those guys, they set up, and Tread Lightly had set up a group to come out and pick up trash every morning. And so we got out there, obviously, before them. And we sent Eric. So, you said Eric was there.
Yeah.
Amber's dad. So the campfire, we get back to the campfire that Wednesday night, and Eric's there. I'm like, hey, and Dolly was there too. I'm like, hey, how about helping out on Chocolate Thunder recovery? He goes, that sounds like fun. yeah, I can do that. And so I said, perfect. So had him up there. So Dolly was coming up a little bit later to watch that area, and I said, hey, tell her to bring some garbage bags, because
Right.
we had piles. We had be picking up cans, a lot of White Claws, a lot of poor choices in canned beverages. Let me just say,
Well, that's the younger generation.
there was a fair amount of Coors Light, okay, CL smoothies, C minuses, Michelob Ultras, and then some canned seltzer,
Truly things or something.
yeah, just I'm like, what? Anyways,
Well, why can't these people take their shit home with them?
dude, we three garbage bags we picked up, and it was clean the day before.
Yeah.
Somebody found a hypodermic needle.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, diabetic or something. I don't know what was going on out there. and so of course a lot of miscellaneous broken U-joints and plastic pieces, mirrors, all kinds of stuff we were picking up as well.
Wow.
But it's just like, dude, people literally zero fucks to give, just left their trash.
I hate that.
And I'm like, this is very sad.
It's disturbing.
It is disturbing. Now, I get, it's at night, rollover, shit comes out of your rig, there's going to be some debris. But, dude, there was just a shit ton of spectators that just left their shit.
They
And
just
it was really
drink their shit, throw it on the ground, and walk
it was
away.
really disheartening
Yeah.
to look at. And but we cleaned up. We had all these piles. Dolly brought some bags, so then we started filling up bags. We had all this time. And then Tim came up, Cromer from BFG.
Uh-huh.
I didn't see Holly. She started out there, but something happened, whatever. But anyways, there was a group of 12 people or so that were combing the hillside.
Yeah, I saw them come in.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm like, hey, we got Chocolate Thunder itself, and the rocks on the other side. But I said we didn't do the sand hill or anything. He goes, okay, we'll do all that. So it's cool. Chatted up with him for a good 10 minutes or so. But it's nice that there was volunteers to do that stuff. But my God,
sad
people,
that they had to do that.
it was really sad. So then our first golf cart comes through.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay. And they blasted up the hill. Second one, third one. And of course, these are the leaders that have badass rigs. And we were like, okay. So we have our first rollover.
Oh,
I'm like,
first car, first roller?
no, not first car. There was like 5 or 6 cars that go
okay.
through and then a rollover. And so I set up my camera on my Mob Armor mount.
Uh-huh.
Throw out a little shout out to Mob Armor. Love that mount on my buggy. And I'd hit record as they were coming up. So if anybody rolled, I had it on film, and then our recovery.
Uh-huh.
So it was difficult to recover where they rolled because we really needed a winch point on the hillside to the left of them to roll them back over properly, and there's just nothing solid up there. We tried hooking to one rock for one recovery, and it was pulling the rock down.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
So we had James at the bottom that would help spin them around and then flip them back over on the extreme ones.
Uh-huh.
Other ones, we were able to roll them over from the top. We probably had a dozen or so rollovers. Nobody hurt.
Good.
That was the first thing. It's like, hey, is everybody okay? No, we're good. And some of them elected to stay in the rig, and we get them uprighted, and others are like, no, we're bailing out. Let's, and then we'll help you with the recovery. And then, of course, you got cars coming up, and it's
Sure.
like, oh, shit. I mean, it's, but you're trying to be, slow is safe.
Right.
Be calculated. Yes, it's a race, but we need to be safety first, and let's set proper points and all that stuff. So everything, our first couple of recoveries went really well, and in fact, it must have been on the video because we had Race Ops radio to us and said, hey, great job, Chocolate Thunder on recovery, and I was like, okay, so that made me feel good that, okay, we were on the right track.
Sure.
But we had one major fuck up. I felt bad. This one guy and his daughter, maybe 15. His daughter was. I didn't catch the name. I do have the car number. I should look him up. He rolled over and she got out. He stayed in the car, driver's seat, and we went to roll him back over, and we had to spin it was like flipping up on one wheel, and it was getting real precarious. I'm like, no. So I'm like, let him back down. James was working the winch, and then we spun him around, and then we went to roll him, flip him back on his wheels. And as it flipped up on its wheels, it cartwheeled back onto its lid again.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, dude, I am so sorry right now. Obviously he wasn't happy, but, what are we going to do? So we got him back up on all four. It started, he had some issues with it, but got it going and was able to winch him back over that obstacle. Did something to it, and then they were on their way. But that was one that I felt did not go as smoothly as it should have.
Well, you have limited options there.
Yeah, 1 out of 12, 14 wasn't too bad. We kept things moving. We did have the other winch points, like I say, for other people to hook up, and super fun there. It was a long day, and I was calling race ops. I'm like, hey, is there any more cars coming? It's getting dark. Yeah, we got one more car coming. I'm like, okay, and it never came. And the natives are getting restless. They're coming down into the to us and going, hey, when are you going to open it up? I go, hey, it's not my call. It's race ops,
Yeah.
So, hey, race ops, Chocolate Thunder race ops. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, Chocolate Thunder. I'm like, hey, natives are getting restless. We need to open this thing up. Is there any more cars coming? He goes, hang on one second, and then got back. And he says, no, they bailed. Go ahead and clean up your gear and get out of there. So we got out of there, and man, I just didn't even look back. I'm like, have fun, people. Good luck.
No, it was because you knew it was gonna be a shit show. We're gonna get in there. The Trulies, the White Claws, the freaking Michelob Ultras, and all that stuff was gonna be flying again.
Oh, so
whatever.
crazy.
So so you came back to camp and dinner time, and then
I don't remember anything after that.
Yeah, well then we. That episode may or may never air. I don't know. We'll see.
You gave me the raw footage to listen to, and I got about halfway through it. It's freaking hilarious. But there is some good stuff in there that's actually legible. Yeah, it's actually audible, good content, funny.
Okay.
So it's going to require some editing on high.
Well, we'll sit down and do that together.
But I really, there's some good stuff, and there's some good convo with the 4 podcasts. Snail Trail.
That's what Jason's referring to, right?
So Snail Trail was there. Of course, Jimmy Tyler, Lee Lim of Cruising to Camp, you and I, and then the Trail Chasers.
Chasers, yeah.
So Cody,
Matt,
Jose, and Casey.
Casey, right.
Oh, my gosh. And we're all inside the Taj Mahal, and Kobe was there, and there was a few other bystanders, and
I think 7 microphones.
I think Cody was sober.
I was.
You were sober.
Yep.
Running the board. I was into bourbon. I was into I was so tired and just had a crazy day on the hill recovering golf carts, and I'm like, I'm turning it up tonight. Tonight's my night.
You did.
And I did.
You did. I mean,
we were sampling a bunch of bourbon.
Cody was sober. I was sober. Jimmy Jet was pretty hammered too. So.
Jimmy Jet was, Jimmy's one of those drunks that gets. He's just a nice guy to begin with, but he gets super lovable when he's like a big teddy bear when he gets drunk.
That's
and
true.
He starts hugging on everybody, and he's like a just a teddy bear. I don't know. I was glad I was not part of that operation. I know some of the. I don't know if it was Jose or somebody. Matt got pretty cuddly with Jimmy there.
Oh boy! All right, moving on. So we buttoned that operation up, and I went right to bed alone.
You did, huh?
I was tired.
I went by the campfire. I had to keep it going, and I ran across a picture tonight that I showed you, and I didn't look
you were
so
hammered.
good.
You were hammered. I mean, you and I were sitting across from each other in the dinette in the Taj Mahal, and you're just like, oh. I'm like, holy fuck.
Oh, dude, I was on a mission. It was just one of those days, and it was good.
Well, we had 7 microphones going. That's the most mics we've ever had for a podcast.
Yeah, and then there was people, sharing mics, so there was a lot of noise,
a lot going on. So,
but it was fun. It we'll air some parts of it, but it was just a blast getting together with everybody.
Oh, for sure. And King of the Hammers on the lake bed, killer, absolutely killer. So anyway,
that was one of the highlights too.
So that was Thursday. So
oh my gosh, are we done yet?
No,
I'm done.
We have
Are we going to make this a 2-parter?
We can.
You could play this in
because we still have the EMC and the 4400 race to cover.
Okay,
And we can't make it fast because we want to do service to it. So, but yeah, Friday.
So that was Thursday night. Okay, Friday, which is EMC race day.
EMC. So you got
and EWC, every woman challenge.
So you've got the 44, 4500, 4600, and 4800.
So can I say, another highlight for me is one watching the start of these races. But it's super fun waking up on EMC morning and having Amber in camp and just that. Everybody's fired up and the pit crews are heading out to their pits and,
right.
It's just, I don't know. It's just a cool aspect to have racers in your camp. It's just like when the golf carts went out that morning, we went out same time they did for recovery, but it just adds a cool element to, just it's
the energy. I mean,
the energy. It is the energy
is right there in your camp rather than and then you see the excitement and the eagerness on those teams that they're ready to go. This is what they've been planning for however much time they've been planning, whether it's been a month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, whatever. This is their time, and they're amped up, and they're going to release all that energy, boom, and go. It's awesome. It really is.
So, so as I said, I ran over to the start line there to watch them all take off.
Oh, yeah.
And then came back in and chatted it up with Ian. But super cool, oh my gosh. I mean, we had so many people racing that we have made friends with.
Yep.
Of course, Lawson went off the line first. But I mean, you had Justin Hall, you had Arturo, you had Amber, you had EVE, Kyle.
Yep.
I mean, who else?
Derek Miller.
D-Mill was, how can I forget? D-Mill went off there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. That's the moment that they've been waiting for to get started, and
that's what they've been planning for, man.
It's fun. It's just so much fun to be on that start line and watch them take off and see them, fired up. So, oh my gosh, yeah. So then that race goes, and it was a little disappointing this year that we didn't have a TV in camp, but the media, TV, we were able to go in there and watch that to get updates. Jumbotron worked great. The coverage was outstanding. I still have not gone back and watched. You can go back and watch it on YouTube there.
I'm watching.
So I'll be doing that, getting caught up on it, because being there on the lake bed, you just can't see everything unless you sit glued to the Jumbotron.
And I got to say that I've been watching the 4400 race in pieces. I've just got it queued up on my computer at work when I'm sitting there doing paperwork. I can hit the space bar and it starts to play. And I mean, their coverage was excellent. Turkey Claw,
so good.
I mean, the video and Turkey
drone
Claw
footage.
Crazy.
The drone footage was insane this year. There was so many great drone shots.
Oh yeah, no, they did it. They upped their game. And I mean, I know we're talking about EMC day, but the camera shots were the same for EMC, or side by side EMC and the 4400 race on Saturday. So, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of a disappointment. The internet situation in Hammertown this year was a disappointment. They raised the price and it was not available outside of the fence. I guess the story that I heard was the company that normally does that was not doing it this year for whatever reason, and so Dave had to put together his own crew to get some sort of internet going, and they weren't going to do it outside the gates.
It was so frustrating because I had Verizon, and you wake up in the morning and before 7 a.m. you could get some stuff out on IG.
Oh, yeah. Right.
But after that, it you could have 4 bars of LTE
it's saturated,
but you could not post a damn picture to save your life.
You can make phone calls most of the time.
You can make a phone call,
Yeah.
You could get some text out, but you couldn't get a post on IG. It pissed me off.
Well, and what was interesting too, and we didn't talk about it on Monday night when you guys all went on your night run. The reason I didn't go on, one of the reasons I didn't go on the night run is because I was drunk. But the other reason I didn't go on the night run is because I needed to upload the episode, so it would the Shannon Campbell episode, so it would drop and be available for our faithful listeners.
Yes,
that was a 50.
Yeah.
50 or 60 megabyte file. It took an hour and a half, almost 2 hours for it to upload.
And you had a little Wii Boost going too.
I had the Wii
you had
Boost
your,
in the camper and
your tinfoil hat on,
my tinfoil
and
hat,
the propeller hat.
Yeah, I had it all going, man, and it took forever. It should have been 2 minutes,
really,
if without a saturated network, but it took an hour, over an hour and a half. But I made it happen.
But you made it happen. That was pretty cool. That we got to record that, edit it. You edited it and you posted it
and dropped it
to go
for
live
Tuesday morning.
from the lake bed. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, so if
you haven't figured out, Chris is the brains of this operation. I just talk into the microphone.
Right. So yeah, back to EMC. So yeah, the race was going on, and we kind of had. Obviously, we knew a lot of people that were in the race, and we kind of kept tabs on it. But
so the tracker that racing tracks,
yes,
good and bad. Man, it's like Randy. It's like, he stopped, not moving, not moving, and I'm like, no, that can't be happening. His tracker fell off. It fell off.
Yeah, it fell off the car.
So I was able to circle back with his wife, Krista, like 30, 40 minutes later. And I'm like, Krista, what's going on? Oh, nope. He's already passed through pit 1. He's moving.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, thank God. I thought he was dead in the water, according to the tracker. And she goes, yeah, the tracker fell off. And I'm like, okay. So anyways, there was some issues with the trackers.
That's
and
every year, dude. Every year it's something,
I mean, again, it's 2022.
Yeah, we have satellites, we have drones, we have
we're sending people to the freaking moon consistently. Can't we figure out where a race car is on a track in the desert?
They sent somebody to the moon.
That was 2000. When was that?
To the moon.
To the moon. I don't know.
Maybe 1971.
Oh, well, I mean, to space. I mean, come on, dude. Really? Okay, Neil Armstrong.
Hey, man. No, you're right. I mean, we have the technology, or we had the technology to put people on the moon. We can't fucking track a race car in a desert.
This piece of technology in my hand, this cell phone right here, this Apple phone, has way more technology than the first computer that sent Neil Armstrong to the moon.
Oh yeah, no, way more.
So why can't we figure out where cars are on a track?
Tyler, can you help us with this?
Fuck. Sorry.
It's true. It's quite a question. It's quite the question. I don't know the answer to it.
I don't know either, but and you know what? And I know there's a lot of stuff going on and all that, but seriously, this has got to get fixed.
Well, there's several things that need to be fixed. One, it needs to be more organized and professional, and they need to figure out the tracking and comms, but I mean, whatever. I mean, that's it is what it is for now. But I mean, at this point, we were surprised at how quick the race occurred. And when the first
car came across the line.
When the first car came across the line.
Oh man!
It was like, holy shit! Are you kidding me? It was crazy.
So we were interviewing the Wicks,
right?
And so the first car was in at 1:30 or something?
Something, 1:25, 1:30, something like that. 5.5 hour race.
They only did a couple laps. They didn't do that third lap that the 4400s did. But it was like 1:30, something like that.
5.5 hour race.
Fuck.
I mean, because we always talk, before the race, it's like, Dave Cole has this goal or desire to have the winner finish in the dark. Well, every year it doesn't happen because the team's all up their game, or the technology, whatever. For whatever reason, the track isn't hard enough, or the cars are just that much better, or
all the above.
Yeah,
all the above. There's just so much. It's progressing so fast. But I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so who won the EMC this year, Jason?
Dan Fresh.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm going to lock that in as my final answer.
Okay, yeah, Dan Fresh.
Yeah, Fresh was the first one across the line.
Fresh was the first one across the line. Typically, he races in the 4,500 class, but I guess he stepped up his game a little bit and got a bomber car and went into the 4,800 class this year and banged it out. Gotta love them bomber cars, baby.
So, yeah, they finished ridiculously early. I was like, what? The first car's coming in right now?
Yeah.
And we, just prior to that, though, we did our meet and greet.
That's right. On,
at the Morphlate booth.
That's correct, yeah.
So Tyler and Jimmy from Snail Trail, Tyler had a booth there at the vendor row.
Right.
And we set a time of 12 o'clock.
12 to 1.
Yeah. 12 to 1 meet and greet. And it was cool. So as we were walking into Hammertown, we met a group that recognized us.
Right.
And it was super cool. Handed them some swag, koozies and stickers and stuff. And we, like, hey, we're headed to meet great. Yeah, that's where we're going too. So went over there. Tyson was there from Kansas.
Right.
So it was cool that he flew out. He flew into Palm Springs, rented a car.
Rented a 4Runner that we should have taken off road.
Oh, we should have. I didn't know he had a 4Runner.
It was only a 2-wheel drive.
Oh, that would have been fun.
It's
like the extra insurance.
Yes.
So it was cool to see him out there, and he had a blast.
He did. He was wide-eyed too, and just like, holy crap, this is bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think he's going to come spend a week next year.
Yeah,
and he was going to take some time to sightsee in Palm Springs and stuff on his way back. So that's super cool, and hitting an air museum.
I think he went to Joshua Tree too while he was here.
Yeah, so that's cool. So, and then I met, again, I met him before, Rob from Weld's Tacos.
Sure, yeah.
And his buddy, oh man, I was trying to think of his buddy's name. He raced.
Yeah.
A green car. He said, green car starting last.
In 4,800.
4,800, yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. We didn't catch the name. Well, we did catch the names, but I didn't write them down.
We're bad
people
that
there.
way,
It was so bad.
Dude, we met so many people, and there were so many things happening concurrently, and we tried to do. You did way more than I did, and I did a lot.
I made a bunch of notes, on my phone, but I didn't. It's just like you meet somebody, and then you're trying to write it down, and then you meet somebody else, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
So we finished up with the meet and greet.
697, 4,400. It's a 4,400 car.
Oh, 4,400.
Yeah.
Oh, so
gosh,
he raced
darn
on
it.
Saturday.
I wish I knew.
Well, we don't have all the finishing stats for that race. So
Rob's, your buddy, I'm sorry. We'll get his name. I wonder if his name's Toby.
Toby.
Wouldn't that be funny if it's Toby? It's not Toby, though.
No.
But if it was Toby, that'd be funny.
697, you said?
697, 4,400 car. Yeah, look it up, dude. Lorenzo, get some work going here. So we had people come in there, and it was cool just hanging out, and we watched some of the cars come by.
They got some Dang Brother pizza.
Yo, yeah. They got like 5 pizzas from Dang Brothers to hand out. That was cool. Tyler, Jimmy.
Greg Stern.
Greg, that was it. Greg Stern. Okay, Greg, 697
DNF.
Green. Well, yeah, but 4,400 car.
Yep.
So, let's see. And then there was another guy towards the end there that we met.
There were so many people. I mean, it was just so many people.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we had, yeah. I mean, there were people walking by, people driving by. We saw Levi Shirley drive by at one point.
Vice Unlimited.
Yeah, Tim
Odell drove by.
I yelled, hey, Tim, and he kept on driving.
He was super focused. He was hyper focused on parking his car. He was a couple stalls down and trying to negotiate the crowd. So,
but
we saw you, Tim, but you didn't see us.
We did. So that thing wrapped up promptly, and then we wandered back to was Friday, right? So
that was Friday. So then we wandered back over to the media tent and then over to the Wicks. We did the interview with the Wicks in the pits.
Right, Wicks in the pits. And
Wicks in the pits.
Which
in the pits
just
with the Wicks.
Episode 143, I believe.
That was great. I mean, they're so freaking cool, man.
They're just down to earth, just ordinary people driving race cars.
Driving bomber race cars.
Having a blast.
Yeah, they really are. They're enjoying it. The total family aspect and all their friends helping out.
And Justin's going to be a force, man. Once,
like I had to get it in there when speechless. What did I say at the beginning? There was something like man of many words. I don't know. I made a comment.
Because, you said, but when you're excited, you talk.
Oh yeah,
more,
you talk more. Yeah, right, Justin.
It was silence.
Yeah,
that was hysterical.
He's great. So I love that kid's gonna freaking make some waves. I know.
For sure. So yeah, and obviously listen to episode 143 for that interview and chat with the pre and post of the 4400.
Yeah, that was
the Wicks.
That was fun. So we met up with them earlier in the week in their camp, which was just down from our camp,
right?
And we went in and chatted up with them. Met the Aussie.
Oh right, yeah, the Aussie.
Met the guy from Australia, and I'm like, hey, how'd you get over here? He goes, oh, I've been living in Sacramento for a few years. I'm like, oh, okay. He's apparently a badass, like, two-wheel rider, like dirt bike and freaking street bike. He was telling me some street bike shit.
Everybody's into some sort of motorsport, whether it's motorcycles, quads, side-by-sides, street rods, whatever,
Yeah. Oh, it's all gearheads on high.
Sure.
So that was cool. Met One Ton Tractor, Kevin Simpson,
right?
His co-dog there, Eric's co-dog,
right? Which is he's a NorCal guy.
Yeah, he lives in Truckee there, so I've been following him on the gram, and he's a lineman, and I was like, oh my gosh, finally put two and two together,
right?
Such a small community up there,
exactly.
It just, I don't know, it's fun. Looking back on all this stuff, I'm sad that it's over with, but looking forward to the next adventure.
Well, there's always something new.
What else do I have written down here? So that night, we interviewed the Wicks, and then we worked back to camp. That was Asian night. Lee and Tony.
Great chow.
And then I don't know how much Tyler and Jimmy helped out. Jimmy was in the kitchen there. Tyler looked like he was a walking zombie by day 3 again. He stretches himself too much. He's got to. I try telling him, man. The kid's got to learn that. It's great to volunteer and everything, but he's running a business. His booth, and then
had to run up to
and then Fisher Mountain. He set up the repeater up there, which worked awesome. By the way, I do have to give a shout out. Tyler. Had these handheld radios, hams, and they had, I don't know, they were 5, 6, 7 station, but it was real simple. He's like, okay, and he had it all labeled. There was a label on there. It's like, number 1 was the Fisher Mountain repeater, and then number 2 was Chocolate Thunder. Number 3, Simplex, Chocolate Thunder. Simplex. Number 3 was like backdoor Simplex, whatever it was.
Wow.
So he had each section already done. And so he handed me this bag of radios and batteries. He goes, here, give this to your crew. And, I have mine and we could talk to each other on channel 1. So I had 2 I actually had 3 radios physically on me that day of recovery, plus my mobile unit in the buggy, the 50 watter that was on race ops. So I had race ops going there cranked so I could keep up to date on what's going on and communicate with them of what we were doing on Chocolate Thunder. Then I had the radio set on channel 1 so I could communicate with Tyler because he was in Aftershock and he couldn't get out to race ops.
Was he by himself?
He was by himself.
Holy shit.
Dude, insane.
Not enough volunteers, man.
No, and he did well, but that was unfortunate. So I could communicate, he's like, hey, can you call Race Ops and find out about this car? And hey, just tell him about this. And I'm like, okay. So I was the relay for him in Race Ops. And then we had, which was awesome, we had our own channel, our Simplex channel for Chocolate Thunder on the walkie-talkie. So everybody had a walkie-talkie. Like James that was down at the bottom, I could see him, but I couldn't yell at him.
A couple hundred yards away.
Exactly. So, James, I was the point person. And so I'm like, James, okay, hop in your rig, get ready, and then like, okay, hey, we need you to come on up and winch this guy over. So that worked out really well.
Cool.
So shout out to Tyler for that. So having that repeater, he set up a portable repeater site up on Fisher early in the week. So we had that operation. But yeah, he just go. And
then he had to take it down on Saturday night.
So that's what really sucked. I'm like, oh my gosh, we were so exhausted and we're sitting there. It was Saturday night.
Yeah.
And we had packed up. I'd just eaten and I was done. I was just like, okay, and I was disappointed because the trip was over with. And it's like, okay, we're leaving at 5 a.m. And the Walk of the Living Dead comes up. Tyler, it's like, dude, I got to go to Fisher and pick this thing up. And he didn't get back to camp till midnight or something. I don't know. It was way too late. I'm like, dude, I feel bad. It's just, but you gotta,
he's got to learn.
You gotta I get it. Volunteer and all that stuff, but you gotta weigh out what you can only do so much.
Gotta know your limitations.
You can only do so much. So I'm like, okay, but we had Asian night, and bulgogi.
I don't know.
I think they pronounce it.
So good.
And so this really thin meat that was sautéed up perfectly, seasoned, sautéed up perfectly. Rice. They had a couple rice cookers going, and then they did bok choy with that sausage. It's a small little Asian sausage. I don't know what it is exactly, but it was really good.
Protein in your veggie.
Yeah, and always got to balance it out, Chris.
Right.
And so I got a plate of that, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so good. And I went back after everybody ate and got a second. There was a ton of it. I mean, literally, we had a ton of food. And so I ate a second plate. And then I don't know where I went. I went, I was full and then took off something. And then I came back and I'm like, oh my God, there was a couple people that were late getting back to camp that night.
Right.
That were volunteering, Lenny and Tom and them and stuff. And so I'm like, and James and Rhonda.
Oh, right. Yeah,
they volunteered again on Chocolate Thunder that day. So they ate and then there was still more left. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going in for round 3. I went 3 freaking plates that night.
Wow.
And so the next morning I'm like, dude, Lee, that was so good, man. And, I don't know if that's like a family secret recipe or what. And he smiles and he goes, yeah, Costco. I go, no way. He goes, oh yeah, that's Costco. And I go, dude, that freaking was money though.
Yeah.
So
no, I fed a lot of people and it was super good.
Oh, so good.
Yep.
So I actually took some home. I took a little to-go bag. There was so much left that I had that on like Monday night.
Oh, there you go. Right on. So that wraps up. Does that wrap up Friday?
That wraps up Friday.
Holy shit. Well, we just have one more day to go.
Wait. Oh, hey, wait. Yeah, I got another page here. Holy smokes.
Is that Saturday?
Notes. This is Saturday, February 5th, 4400, the big dance.
Big dance.
Here it is.
Oof.
Wow. This is what we, it's bittersweet because you've been waiting for this moment. And but then this is the end of the week.
And people have already started leaving. Once the race kicks off, a lot of people start to leave.
There was a lot of people leaving midday.
There was.
I was like, okay.
But there's so much action. But the disappointing part is without the internet, in camp and the TV not set up in camp, we couldn't really watch the race, which brings us to why, being media, we can go into the media tent and watch
that helped.
On the TV. And, of course, the Jumbotron's available out by the Tribe 16 Fire Pit.
And over on Chocolate Thunder.
Over on Chocolate Thunder, exactly. So, but there was a lot of action. Obviously, we could see what was going on the short course. Jason and I were both down at the start-finish line for the beginning of the race. I know Jason was running up and down the...
So I had James, Rhonda, and I think it was just the three of us. We went in early, just after 7 into Hammertown, and all the cars were lining up and warming up.
Warmed up.
And getting suited up. And it's just, again, my favorite part of race day. is getting right there in with the mix of the drivers and the smell of race fuel in the morning.
Sure. Gear oil, race fuel.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So cool. So, got to fist pump a lot of drivers, give thumbs up to drivers, and they acknowledge back. And then Levi got a fist pump in on him, got to talk to his wife briefly there. So that was super cool. It's just a great time to see some of your favorite drivers and get up close, and you just can't do that in any of these other big race formats, So we, start working our way to the start line. And they did, it was different this year because they had the Fioravanti, Gary Fioravanti, memorial tribute.
Right.
Yes. So, his car was sitting on the start line there. His son was driving it. And what they did is they brought everybody out to the track early, and I'm like, what are they doing here? And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. So they lined them up on. They brought them on into the short course, but short of the start-finish line, all lined up on the straightaway where the jump is.
Right.
Coming into the start-finish line. And so his son got in the car, drove around the short course, made a parade lap, and then was able to drive in between every 4,400 car down the middle.
That was awesome.
And they all were, sounding their sirens, revving their engines. It was super freaking cool moment. I mean, what a tribute. And I don't know who organized that, but my hat's off to you. That was very well done.
It was extremely well done.
It was a touching moment. But super freaking cool, man. So that was just like, again, you're part of that environment, and you see something like that go down, and the camaraderie of the sport, and it's just like, fuck, this is super cool.
It was
super
very,
freaking
very
cool.
So,
then race starts, and the cars start flying off the line, and horsepower on high, and dirt flying, and rocks, and we were right there at the line, and I kept waiting for, I'm watching the other media, like, can we be here? Yeah, okay, we're here. And excuse me, a couple people got pelted. It wasn't bad, but you could, you were in a good spot, safe spot, to get some good video of the cars taking off on the line. And then they all take off, and the race has begun. And then you start watching on the jumbotron and media, and trying to get the tracker thing going. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it didn't. But then I headed back to camp, grabbed breakfast, and then started the very slow process of packing everything up.
Oh yeah, no, it sucks.
Trying to get the trailer hooked back up, which my trailer was totally buried. When I parked it, I thought, oh, this will be a good spot. It won't get buried. Oh no, it got buried.
Yeah.
But luckily, was it Paul? I want to say Paul, Jimmy's friend. He had his truck and a hitch, and he was kind enough to pull that out into the open for me, so I could back up to it with my camper,
right,
and get hooked up. And then Ray and I just started throwing shit in and wadding stuff up, and got the blower going, blowing off as much dust as you can before it gets
but the
packed.
dust sticks, you know what I mean? But
and it was difficult because I throw a bunch of stuff on my camper floor. But with Ray staying in there, I had to keep the couch open and the floor kind of open. So we did well. We packed up inside the back of the truck well, and then I had everything on the trailer, and then I had a few, 10, 12 items that I couldn't put in that were sitting right by the door. So in the morning when we woke up, we just made coffee and shuffled stuff in, and off we went at 5 a.m.
No, we were wheels up at 5 a.m. sharp. But that's sad stuff. So but while we were packing up and getting everything organized for departure, we were also monitoring the race, and race was exciting. The cars were racing by. Turkey Claw was just over the hill.
That was super cool. I wanted to get over there for that the second time they went through, but I never did.
Nope. Well, my rig was already
was packing up.
strapped down to the trailer at that
Maybe
point.
next year I'll come home on Monday. That would work out a lot better, so I'm not having to pack on race day.
Yeah. Well, Ray needs to bring his own shit down.
That's
his own
right.
Truck, his
That's
own
right.
camper, and
He
his
does.
Own, his own
He does.
Toyota. You know,
Really does.
On his well-built Toyota.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, obviously the finish of the race came around, sooner than we thought.
So about 3:30,
3:30
Raul Gomez
comes across
clears
the
the line.
Yep.
And I was right there, and I'm like, holy smokes. So that was cool. They've got a lot invested in that oration.
Shit ton.
Both part owners of Ultra 4, or Hammer King Productions, and but they got three cars and
3 Ultra 4 cars.
three Ultra 4 cars, two
trophy trucks.
2 trophy trucks.
A helicopter.
Did they race side by side this year?
I think they might have.
I know they had side by sides in the past.
They also have partridge in a pear tree too. So.
Pretty much. So, anyways, they're such a cool family. We got to get them on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, they're
too.
local.
Relatively. Yeah, they're gonna.
They're in the Sierra foothills. We can.
They're a party right there.
We can make that happen.
So, so they cross the line, and then like 20 minutes later, Shear comes across the line.
Yep, Jason Shear,
So,
Jason Berger.
saw Jason squared come across the line.
That's right.
Cubed. And then Blyler.
Josh Blyler, yeah. Number 3. So 2 IFS cars, 1 and 2, and then a solid axle car
Yeah.
is number 3. So it's a switch from last year.
And then I think Von Gittin came in with one of the Broncos. I think he was, I know time-wise, it's or how they actually placed was different, but
nothing's official.
who
at this
physically
point.
came across the line, I think he was there, and then Shannon Campbell was right there.
Marcos Gomez was number 4.
Well, yeah, but I don't know
you're
if he
talking
came in
about
time.
physically
Yeah,
coming
I'm talking
across.
about physically coming across the line.
Yeah, Von Gittin's in the top 10 for sure. So,
Yeah.
but,
And then Shannon, and then of course,
Tom Ways.
Waze came in. That was awesome. One thing. So Waze being right there on the infield is so cool because Waze goes, "Hey, is there going to be one of those? What did they do for the UTV? They did a grudge match.
Oh, right.
Grudge match. So, and I'm sorry we missed that. We were up on Chocolate Thunder, but that sounded like it was cool. I was listening to Race Ops.
Yeah, that was a cluster
going on
because it went off sooner than it should have or something. And
Well, I don't know if it went off sooner, but they were having other cars were coming in, that logistical thing,
Right.
Cars were still finishing the race while the grudge match was going on.
Right. So
that needs to be worked out. But grudge match was a cool idea. So Waze comes in and he goes over to Dave Cole and he goes, "Hey, where's the grudge match? Let's go. I can get a bunch of people together right now. We can do a grudge match." I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome.
Just beat your car.
Grizzly Adams right there.
No shit. Right.
Eric Miller came in. Of course, Eric Wicks came in the top 10 physically.
Right.
And then John Webb was there, but time wise, Webb slid in front of Eric. So, but it was super cool. Just after these guys have been in the desert for 7-8 hours and getting the living crap beat out of them. To see them, their looks on their faces and pulling their helmets off and wiping their face down with a cold towel and just like the relief of being done and they made it.
Getting a cold beverage.
Yeah, and then the beverage is breaking out. It was special to be there, and then extra special to see Eric come in early, and the whole family surround him and chatting it up with him and the crew there. So. Man, and then watching them go across stage and give their thanks and do their interviews on the stage.
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah.
So after Eric went across stage, then I'm like, okay, I got to get back to camp and finish final packing and eat dinner and.
Right. And then we sat down and did some more interviews.
we
talked to Mike Austin.
Did we do that night?
That afternoon? Yeah.
Oh, it was.
I don't know. Was it before? I might have been before.
It was
the race.
afternoon. It was before I went down to the finish line.
We went
yeah,
down. We all went down.
Yeah.
together
So
to
we
the finish
interviewed
line.
Mike. so we're going to air that too.
Yeah. Well,
maybe if we break this up into 2 episodes, we can air that
happen,
part 2.
This is a long one.
Because this is going crazy long. There's just so much to talk about.
There is, but we can continue talking about it over the next few episodes too. But just crazy exciting. The races were awesome. These results that we just announced are not official. We don't know. They should be official here in the next couple of days. By the time this episode drops, we hope everything's official.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Whatever. That's a whole nother discussion. But
so going back, I told Mike, I'm like, dude, you weren't there last year. We need to sit down and podcast. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? Well, I don't know, man. What do you want to talk about? So he's a great storyteller. So he had a couple great stories.
He did.
So that was freaking hilarious about his icy bathroom experience. Really good. He's just funny. He's a funny guy. I would love to go out four-wheeling with him at some point. I'd love to get out to Arizona. Let's see who else. Pete. So Pete from Truckee, friend of Horton's, that came in on the side-by-side, and he ran Turkey Claw with us. That's right. He ran the night run with us.
In the side-by-side.
And the side-by-side, but it's not a side-by-side. It's a side.
It's a single seat.
It's a single seat.
Which I didn't know 40s. Existed.
And it looks funky. Dude, that thing can wheel.
I bet.
And obviously Pete's a good driver. I guess he's like a really good snowmobiler too, which I want to go out and have him teach me a few things because I definitely got room for improvement there. But I know enough to be dangerous out there on a snowmobile, but there's so many cool techniques and stuff. So he turned out to be a great unexpected camp guest that was super cool, that added to the mix. And,
right on. He was a nice guy.
Oh, really nice guy and knowledgeable and fun to be on the trail with. So he could hang with us in his rig.
I think had 40s on it.
Yeah, had 40s. Yep. 40s on a single seater. I don't know what the wheelbase is on that thing, but it
looked like a Tonka car.
It does. It did. It was cool. Horton, again, it just wheeled the crap out of his 4Runner. Had a blast. Who else did? We saw Chris Ray. So we interviewed him in the past, so he wandered into our camp, and we did a little tasting. He brought what was that? An 18-year Doers.
Yeah, unfortunately, that bottle did not survive the trip.
It did not survive. It was very good.
It was delish.
It ended up in the Taj Mahal, and I don't know if it ever left the Taj Mahal. But when I went back into the Taj Mahal a day or two later, it was a dead soldier.
Hopefully, whoever drank it appreciated it.
But it was good.
It was super good.
I got some of that. Who else did I got notes here of working. Andy McDaniel. So he is Rescue 3. He's part of the Rescue
that's right.
crew.
Yeah, he was the one that recognized our voices.
Yeah, so I talked to him. We were there, just popped out of the media tent onto the track. And he was there, and he's like, "Oh, Wheel and Wine and Whiskey," and I'm like, "Yeah." And we started chatting, and I'm like, "Oh shit, you're Andy," and so I'd love to have him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's got to have some stories.
Absolutely. No, he's running the crew, the recovery rescue crew out there, and he definitely has stuff he could tell us.
And James wins a Camp Mechanic Award for the most hours working on rig. Samurai James, but. I felt bad. He wheeled with us the first day, and then he missed a couple days wheeling with us. But he did get to dial in his new rig.
Oh, yeah.
It worked well at Sand Hollow, but suspension definitely needed some work. So he was able to work with King. King came through. I can't say enough great things about King, and their support is unfreaking believable. So rebuilt shocks for him. Got him dialed in. BFG Garage, he did the power steering pump. He got a spare pump from Carlos,
right?
And was able to put that in and bleed the system and flush it, and worked great. Had the one pop off valve
ball valve or whatever.
ball. Yeah, it got a little piece of dirt in it, debris. So that's what prevented him from doing the day run at Turkey Claw, but he was right there for the night run.
Yep.
And let's see, what else did he replace? There was something else.
The rag.
Oh yeah, the rag joint on the steering was all jacked up. So fix that. I mean, if I was James, I would have just packed it up a while halfway into that whole mix and just say F it. But he was right. He had a great attitude about it. His tenacity was there, like you said, and he's like this. And like I told him, I'm like, this is the spot. You've got some of the world's best knowledge of off-roading and vehicle, tuning, shock tuning, everything right here on the lake bed.
Yeah.
And he tapped into a lot of it. He talked to Jeff Howe about power steering, obviously King Shocks. He talked to them and got hit. I mean, it's just everybody who's anybody in the off-road industry is there, and they're all willing to share if you're willing to ask.
A shitload of samurai people out there.
And the samurai support was there. So it was cool. He was super excited to get his rig dialed in. So Black Betty is way more capable now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous. I may have to do some upgrades on my rig.
Oh yeah, okay, get right on that.
But yeah, what an event. We left at 5 a.m. Sunday morning.
Fucking Boone Road.
But I'm glad we left when we did
because
apparently we got a call when we were like getting to the Tehachapi. So it was like, I don't know what, like
9:30,
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And said, hey, where you guys at? Oh, we're coming up the Tehachapis. Oh, good. You got out okay. Yeah, just, less than a half an hour we hit the pavement.
Yep.
Well, there were some people that were sitting for an hour on Boone Road, and it took like 4 hours to get out of Boone Road. And then there was horror stories of people in the pits, with semi trucks and stuff that were just stuck there for,
all
4
day.
to 4, 6, 8 hours trying to get out.
No thanks.
No, that's when you just unload your shit and go out wheeling and just say, F it, I'm leaving the next day.
Or take a nap.
Whatever. Yeah, that's
we timed
crazy.
it well. We got home and the start of no incidents getting home. Another great trip. Obviously get home, unpack everything and unload everything and clean everything and put it all away. And I'm still cleaning and you're still cleaning.
I'm still doing final cleaning. I got a majority of it done. But yeah, holy smokes, the dust was bad.
It was bad this year.
It's bad every year, but it seemed even worse this year.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And it wasn't, the temperature-wise, weather-wise was very good. I mean, we had the W on Wednesday, windy Wednesday, but,
cold nights and warm.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind. I like the cold weather and waking up. I mean, it was bitter cold, but, you got your thermals, heated jacket, whatever, your beanie. I was rocking the Jesse Combs beanie the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And then it would warm up in the afternoon, and I'd never put shorts on, but I was damn near tempted a couple days.
Yeah, there was one day. What was it? Thursday or Friday?
Yeah, it was
really
hot.
Warm. Yeah, I was like, shit. I think it was Friday.
But then then the come afternoon and that it cools off quick. I mean,
sun
you're
goes
in the
down
desert.
and
it drops like 20 degrees, like just like that.
Oh yeah.
So, but overall, I think the weather was great. What a trip.
Till next year.
Till next year. It
keeps growing.
It is amazing. I can't wait to hear the numbers, and of course they're not going to be accurate, but over 80,000 confidently I can say out there.
Oh yeah.
I counted up to 80,000 and I stopped. The people I saw. Just that first weekend of Trophy Truck Weekend, it was like the busiest I'd ever seen the lake bed.
Oh yeah, no, it was crazy, dude.
9+ years that I'd been going, and then it did thin out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it just cranked up again on high.
People were rolling in for the weekend again. People were rolling in,
and we didn't even mention
event.
the concerts. I mean, Sublime and Pennywise and stuff, and so I do have to say I missed all the concerts. I wanted to go to them. I love music, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason. I was tired, busy, whatever going on.
The Pennywise show was late.
It was late Saturday night, and I could hear them from our camp.
We could all hear them.
But I don't know when the concert stopped. I guess it was around midnight or something.
Might have been later.
But the camp next to us had a music going all night long. I woke up at like 3, and I'm like, oh, crap, what time is it? Oh, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, I could still sleep another hour. But it sounded like a concert.
Yeah, it was
going on next to us. And then when I got up at, finally at 4:45 or 4:30 or whatever, it was still going.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
I was like, what the fuck, dude?
But I never heard music late into the night until that last night.
No.
Now, fireworks and all that stuff was going on, but I slept great this trip.
Oh, yeah, I slept well, too.
I don't know if we were isolated or what from music, but we didn't have any crazy debauchery really going on around us other than our camp. But
it was I mean, there was, like I said, we were in a crowd of our own up there, and it was safety in numbers or whatever you want to call it. But good trip, good time. Can't wait till next year. I kind of wait to see what the final results are for the race. That's still pending. Of course, we'll see what Dave Cole comes up with for next year. What insanity of nonstop events he'll plan and
I am concerned about the old organization thing, but overall, I mean, Dave, this thing's incredible. What he built, and the volunteers he has, and the people, the team that he's created. Some people have left, some new people are on. Whatever, you can say what you can, will. But it's pretty freaking spectacular what he created, and to have all these people, racers, spectators, everybody in between.
Media, it's and being media the last few years has really opened our eyes to what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, you get an insight on that, and super cool. Holy smokes! And the whole coverage this year with the drones and helicopters and the TV cameras that they had staged, incredible. This thing just keeps on growing and growing, and it's fun to be part of it.
It is, absolutely. So
bonus content alert, Chris.
Oh my God, really?
Here we are. Let's do it. Let's just throw this in. Let's just make this. We do give till it hurts here on the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey podcast. So we last year, Mike did not show up for Mike and Mac's podcast, and we never see Mac, so it's just Mike and Mike. Yeah, exactly. Who? You and Al?
Yeah.
And so we said, okay. And so we talked about it, like he was there for 4 or 5 days, and we're like, dude, we got to record. So we finally recorded towards the end. And so we got a quick little 20, 25 minutes.
Something like that.
With Mike.
We sat
and Lee Lim.
Mobile Studio.
Lee jumped in.
That's right.
And
he was the new Max.
Yeah, he's the new Max.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yep.
That's cool.
Lax.
So Mike is great storyteller, and he has real life stories that are like unbelievable, but you need to believe it. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. And there's a couple great stories here. Enjoy, and that's all I'm going to say.
Well, that's all you can.
I can. That's it.
Go.
It. KOH 2022 still going on, Chris. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
You look a little tired.
I am tired and dirty. I took a fall during loading of stuff, so
I almost yelled timber, but I didn't think it'd be appropriate. But damn, I wish I did.
Yeah,
it went down slow.
Wouldn't have been very funny if something landed on me.
Too many rocks in the desert.
Yeah, I know. Who put all the fucking rocks out here?
Hey, so we're recording. We just yet again here on the desert floor, and we have a couple guests in the camper here.
Yeah,
one that came all the way from the Sunshine State of Arizona.
Oh yeah, the hot.
Are you the Sunshine State? What is that? No. That's the was Mike Austin.
The Cactus
from the
State.
Well, I'll tell you what, you took a long time to introduce me.
Well, I was still wasn't done introducing you. I was gonna talk about your badass willies and how your podcast, the Mike and Mike's podcast, has just blown up the airwaves.
Today it's Mike and Lee.
Mike and Lee podcast.
Off-road podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got Mike Austin and Lee
My
Lim.
guest, my invited guest.
My invited guest, Lee Lim, from Cruising to Camp podcast. So
He's interviewing.
we got bored. It's like there's no exciting racing going on or anything. So we thought we'd record.
No, not at all. No, I mean, today is Saturday, so it's the 4400
Yeah,
race.
4400s are out racing, and who's in the lead? Jason Shearer.
Just laid over in outer limits right before we got in here.
Uh-oh.
And he jumped off of his rig and hit a rock on his butt. So
Ouch.
That's what we know last.
He was mimicking me, I guess.
So we're what if you guys fell at the exact same time?
Dude,
Whoa,
you guys could be
man.
like twin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Twinsies,
Butt rock buddies.
man.
So-
What was that? Corsican Brothers.
So I could get some of his money then. I'd have some Shearer money.
Right.
Right.
No, that doesn't work.
No.
Doesn't work
So
that
let's
way?
talk about... No, this is already going off the rails. Let's talk... And we're not even drunk.
No.
Let's talk about your KOH experience, Mike. You got here Wednesday night?
Yeah, Wednesday afternoon.
In the afternoon. Okay. And what have you been doing? What have you seen? What's been one of the highlights of your KOH experience?
Well, actually, one of the highlights was we had a dope fire last night in the Arizona camp.
That was
next to the Peter heater.
That was a big ass fire.
The
I gotta
Peter
say.
heater. The Peter heater, you can't hardly see anything around it. It's so dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you're lit right up on it. But we lit like a cord of wood on fire last night at one time.
Wow.
And it was a good one. It was a very good one.
Wow.
And then the second highlight would have
burner.
been actually your food.
Oh.
I don't know. That's Lee's food. I was
Yeah.
pointing at him for
Yeah.
those that aren't watching. Right?
Are you on the meal plan? I didn't think you were on the meal plan. You ate last night?
I think Jimmy invited me.
Look, you invited me. Okay, so
Who's
we
not
charge
here?
Jimmy.
Who's not here?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we charge
Jimmy's.
Jimmy.
Hey, I just helped you take a tent down. I can send a bill, bro.
Dude, I'm giving you crap, bro.
Poaching our chow, man.
So this is a
we had
drinking
plenty.
game, this podcast. How many times Mike Austin says bro?
Bro.
Yeah.
Or what do you mean?
Or what do you mean?
anyways. Or what do you mean?
Know what I
Anyways.
mean? Anyway.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I got in Wednesday. Super crazy windy. You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, go.
It's kind of gross.
Uh-oh.
It's funny.
You
I
have
was
some
gonna
great,
save it for mine.
You've
but,
got some great stories, bro. Go.
okay, this one's disgusting. So,
Oh, wow.
well, I'm in the middle. I'm flying across, right, like going through Parker. It's windy, like insane windy, right? And I'm towing a big ass empty trailer for my camper tent thingy, and so I pull off on the side of the road because I got to take a piss, and I go to pee. And it blows back all over me.
No, it
so
didn't.
I turned around to pee the other way, and it came in worse. So I was covered in pee. The whole side of my truck was covered in pee. Oh, it gets better. So I have to run off into the field, and it's literally swirling pee around me. Because I can't stop.
Like a tornado. You're like
in-
Pigpen.
I'm covered in pee and dirt.
Oh, man.
And so the next time it's still windy.
All right, we need to move your seat out of the camper.
I had to pee again, so I thought, oh, I got a good idea. I'm going to pee in a bottle in my truck where there's no wind. So I open the door and go to pour it out, and it just splashes all over the inside. The wind is ferocious. Ferocious.
God.
bro.
It was that windy.
It was crazy. I had and it was swirling. It was in every direction. So I covered my truck, myself, and the trailer in piss. So
Very nice.
and then you came into our camp.
I wonder what that
asking for a
smell
shower.
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't changed yet. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
First
my
thing I did
God.
was change. Yes, first thing I did.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
It was funny. I thought it was funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
There was nowhere not to pee. You couldn't pee anywhere.
I want video.
I should have just.
No, we don't.
You needed a Lance camper. You could have gone inside your Lance camper, done your business, washed your hands.
No way, bro. I'm hood rich.
Oh.
I use borrowed trailers, borrowed cargo
Yeah,
trailers.
what do you got? Yeah, is that a cargo trailer? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's set up
Is
like
there
a
a bed
prison.
in there and stuff? Or oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a little sink and no, I have a couple tables and I used a generator, 3 little electric heaters, and
Oh,
it's awesome, dude.
wow.
Do you have the generator inside?
No, I have it on the outside. But you know what's weird is there's no way to lock the doors from inside. And somebody could walk by and just flip the tab down and lock me in it.
Oh, that was. Oh, yeah. Because
Now you tell us?
Yeah. So I was worried about that, but so every time I go to bed, I have a ratchet strap on the door.
Oh, there
I
you
ratchet
go.
strap it to the other side.
Okay.
Lock it shut.
Nice.
Like that. It's pretty cool, but it was nice, dude. Like no complaints. I mean, if you don't have a trailer or if you don't have a camper,
Yeah.
it's definitely do it.
This is, yeah, we had one windy day that Wednesday, but other than that, the tents were fine out here. You were in a tent, Lee.
Just the first night.
Yeah, oh, just the first
Just the
night.
first. And then, yeah.
Truck.
Okay.
Yeah, sleep in the truck. Just a platform. Yeah.
But we had them tucked in the corner there amongst the campers, and it was fine.
It's busy here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Crazy. A lot of
what do you,
people.
so what do you think of this camp this year? This is crazy. Hammertown Heights Estates Arch is coming down as we speak.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is a
that's the
sad
end of the
moment.
party. Oh my
Should we have a
god.
moment of silence?
Oh boy.
No,
Apparently, it got put
it's
on
coming
some
next
TV
year,
show.
right?
I know. It's like
No, it's nobody's dying. We're fine.
Are you editing this?
No,
Stay in
this is
or
gonna
out?
be raw.
It should stay in.
we don't edit
No, we
like you guys edit.
I don't edit. I just
No.
have bumpers.
let it fly.
And take out when we go to the
All
back.
right, so that was your highlight, was pissing on yourself.
I bring the stories, bro. I bring funny.
You do. You
That's
do
what
bring
I'm
the
here.
funny.
I feel really low.
So let's talk. You
are
didn't bring
low.
your Jeep, so you didn't go four wheeling, but at least you made it.
Yeah, it was either freeze your ass off, and Chris, you could test to this now. There's really not a lot of time to four wheel unless you're here way early.
That's true.
And these rocks trails are really built. They're really meant for bigger, badder vehicles, you know?
Right.
So
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, I did get out and run one trail, and obviously, if we ran it later today after the course goes cold, it would probably be a completely different trail. But because Turkey Claw was getting shredded by the big boys, I saw a lot of rocks and dirt getting strewn around when I was out on up at the media tent. But it's been a great week, and I'm just curious. What were your goals while you were here? Did you get a lot of good video for
I had
YouTube?
no goals.
No
I
goals.
failed to plan, so I planned to fail.
Oh,
right.
great. Okay,
My
perfect.
goal was to elevate your guys' show.
Perfect. And how's that working
I know that
out?
sounds arrogant, but what I'm doing is I'm giving you guys extra content so Jason can disappear and go skiing when he gets
That's
home.
right. That's right. Exactly.
There's no snow. There's
Looking
no
at the snow report.
Yeah, snow report's looking really
Jason
shabby.
likes the
now you-
fresh pow pow, and there's no
Yeah,
pow pow.
it's-
So
it's hard.
Now you won't have
Sierra
to
Smith.
record for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
You-
we
you
got a
may-
ton of content.
you may need to go to like New England. That's snowing like a mother over there apparently.
Oh,
but,
really?
But
Okay.
that
Well, there you
snow's
go.
completely different.
So, I saw you on the start finish line this morning. I mean, that I love Saturday morning and being on that start finish line. And I didn't know because Emily was right there, and like I didn't know if we were going to get pushed back, but we were right there on the start finish line.
Yeah, they seem pretty lenient.
Yeah.
We were definitely in zone of the rocks.
No, yeah, and only a couple cars through some rock, but not bad. I mean, it wasn't like people getting dusted, sanded.
They
The
let us
track was
closer
frozen.
to the barrier this year. than
Yeah,
we did a couple
you're
years
right.
ago.
You're right.
So I was shocked too. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to walk down there and get through the cars, but
Yeah.
I did.
So I was curious this morning. You know, they normally bring the cars through the Nitto tire onto the, close to the track, and then they make that hairpin and then onto the track. And they went all the way up to the beyond the jump.
right.
Yeah.
And then I saw Faravante's car. sitting
yeah, they
there.
were doing a
at the-
tribute.
Yep. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be freaking badass, and they did. So they
Yeah.
had, I'm assuming his son was. driving
I'm
the
not
car.
sure
I'm
who
not
it was.
sure.
Yeah.
But drove it up around the short course, through the Bronco Arch, down, and then all the cars were lined up on the track on either side, left and right side.
We had a
And they
gap.
drove Faravante's car through the center.
Yep.
And they're all honking their horns, revving their engines. It
Sirens,
was pretty
yep.
freaking cool.
Yeah, that
It was badass.
That was a badass moment to start off the race, and I mean, just being there, race day, and then having that happen and everything. It's like, dude, this is super cool.
Well, he
So-
was a big one. He was one of
Yeah.
he's a legend,
So yeah, that's a great way to kick off the race. But those of you at home that were watching it, you probably have better coverage than we do on camp
Yeah.
because we see cars go by, and we'll head out here to the finish line, which is always fun too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot going on, and then Mike was streaming it on the phone. That was pretty amazing right here in camp.
Yeah.
So we, internet's been going in and out here because there's so many people on the lake bed.
But people are leaving right now. I mean, our camp has actually cleared out quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
well, we only had like 92 people in camp, so
that's
you know,
it. So then
freaking
there's-
8 leave, and it's like hard to tell. But there's about 14, 15 that left.
Yeah.
No,
It's. I
trickling
mean,
out.
a lot of big rigs left this morning. There were some fifth wheels and a lot of side by sides, and so it's just a little bit more breathing space, even though the air is choking full of sand or dust. But
we just finished. Yeah, hammer lung. Usually, I know Ray's coughing and stuff. I've been doing fine, knock on wood. But I am ready to get out of the dust. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like things clean, and I can only clean so much out here, and you just give up.
it's futile.
Thank God for the shower, though. My God.
Yeah, I'm in the
That
shower
is-
before I go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
So, Mike, So thanks for helping out, pack up camp. But that's our we got everything pretty much packed.
Thanks for the beer, Lee.
Yeah,
Of
there
course.
you go. So Lee brought some beers in here. That's a.
This is actually really good, dude. A Modelo Chelada lime and salt.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Salt. It's
Great on a
good.
hot day.
Yeah, it's very refreshing for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Refreshing.
I give it a 5 out of 7 stars.
Oh, 5 out of
Ooh.
7. That's a unique scale.
I clearly don't do that very often, right?
So you're heading out tonight, Mike, and then what's your next event? What's going on? Where are we going to see you again, or we got to wait another year to see you again?
I don't know. I'm gonna try and head to like Sand Hollow maybe in April.
I was supposed to see you at Trail Hero this
And then-
last year, and you bailed.
Yeah, so Trail Hero, hopefully in the fall or whatever, October, November or something.
October.
But I guess the group is going out in April. I don't know. I'm kind of in the air waiting on my
Okay.
wife, so
All right, cool. Are you going to make the Rubicon at all? I know there was talks of that, and then.
yeah, that's still talking right now. But
It's
I don't
still talking.
know. I would like to for sure.
All right.
It depends if they can get it over a weekend or not.
All right. Well, if you make
It's all-
that happen,
It's all timing this
let
year.
us know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no way I come up there and not tell you guys.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, that's I like.
You know, it's crazy because that's hard for here. Like, it's hard to be everywhere. You want to be
Right.
everywhere around everybody, and everybody's so spread out. But so you end up trying to like you leave one thing to go to the next thing to meet the next group of people, and you end up missing some things.
Right.
And then sometimes you end up missing everyone.
Oh, we did
Just
that.
walking around. Huh?
We did that. I passed you. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at a back door holding the gate from the mob, and I see this guy come by
Heading in.
heading in. I was
Get
like,
COVID.
"Where you going?"
He's like, I thought you were doing the podcast, man.
Well,
So
he's stealthy.
I was going to be fashionably late as usual, right? Because I'm late on everything.
Uh huh.
But at any rate, I was way late. I was so late, I missed it.
What'd you miss?
I missed your guys' podcast shit show. Then
Oh,
Oh no, you didn't miss
The Loud
anything.
Fest.
you didn't miss anything.
I got to see you guys hammered though, which was
No,
cool.
no, I wasn't hammered.
No,
Yeah, right.
No, I wasn't.
he wasn't.
Oh, you weren't?
They're never hammered.
You were hammered.
I was.
I
I
was
was.
hammered.
I was pretty sober.
I was schlammered.
I was definitely
Jimmy.
sober compared to you and Jimmy.
But I was
and-
still. I didn't like. I wasn't out of control. Or
No,
anything. That's
no,
the thing.
no.
I'm a happy drunk.
You have the drunk hunch.
I do.
Yeah, where you go, you're like, hey man.
Yeah. How's it
No,
going?
hunched over like that.
It's a fun night. It's a fun
And then
night.
you get really, you and that other guy that was really drunk. I think it was a trail tracer guy.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, somebody had a bottle of whiskey or something.
Yeah.
Jose had a bottle of whiskey,
Jose,
tin
too.
cup.
You
Yeah.
guys were really close talking. You're like, yeah, man. And it was, whatever it was funny to you.
Hugging
I don't know.
it out.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
that's gonna play out.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
that's good
It was
stuff.
fun.
It was fun. Yeah,
That
It
was one of the highlights of the trip for sure.
getting the podcast collide.
Yeah, it was a collision for sure. It was
Crossing of the streams.
What'd you say? It was like a train wreck that a plane crash would get to.
A plane that crashed into
And
a
then
train
a
wreck.
nuclear bomb was dropped on top of the whole scene. Nothing left.
Nothing
afterwards.
survived. Nothing survived.
This is kind of like it's kind of like like if you've ever done big major trips, like we went to SEMA the first time,
Uh-huh.
or for me, or like Sturgis the first time. There's so much stuff that goes on that you don't know what to talk about because there's so much in your head. You have to think about it later, you know. And
Oh, you gotta
little
make
pieces of
notes,
memories
yeah.
and stuff
Oh, I got a
shows
ton
up.
of stuff to talk about, but I'm trying to make this about you.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because we see you
I was coming-
maybe once a year. When was the last time we saw you?
Yes.
Las Vegas, SEMA, freaking
I
2020?
think the last time was here.
2020. Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
last
have
time
been
was
like
here.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
2020 because he was here 2021.
Yeah, that was the last time we saw
29.
you.
Yeah, I
don't
skipped
know.
the COVID year or whatever.
Yeah. You look very svelte.
Svelte?
Svelte.
Oh.
You don't know
Baloney,
what
bro.
that means.
You're
Yes.
eating baloney.
He has to keep up his figure for swimming in the pools when he's working on the filters. You know,
Yeah.
doesn't want to scare the milfs.
Anyways, it's dusty as shit here, cold as shit here, fun as shit
Last
here.
2 mornings have been cold.
It's super awesome. Had a good time. And this could be a short one, man.
Do
We
you
can
wish,
go down and watch that
you
race.
brought your Jeep,
Yeah.
or
No.
would you next year? Would you bring your Jeep and go? We had a blast, man. The first 4 days, 5 days of wheeling and
Yeah, if I ever came during the wheeling part where there's nothing really going
Yeah.
on, you can go wheel. I would rather actually come out here in the little closer to summer when it's warmer and just be out here.
Yeah,
just
warmer
us.
is an
I would rather do
understatement.
that. Actually, I met that dude. that guy we met yesterday from Weld's Taco, Rob.
Oh, yeah. Rob.
So his buddy, did you see?
Yeah.
He got some really good footage this morning
Yeah,
from
he
the
did.
drone and everything. It was
Yeah.
some long shots of that guy. So I
The
forget.
green, I forget his car number.
697.
697.
Yeah.
Green Ultra 4 car, 4400 car. And he was cool as a cucumber, man.
But he
Fucking
said he's
him.
got 5 acres out here at
Yeah.
Cougar Buttes, and to come
Yeah.
over and visit, and he'd lead us into Bear Val. What's the Big Bear? No.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a Big Bear. Or what's
Bear?
what's the one with the John Bull Trail?
That's Big Bear
Yeah, you
area.
can go from here to Big Bear.
Is that just
And
across the
everybody-
freeway or something?
And he said, just come out and we can go from his
Oh, that'd be cool.
I hear that area's got trees
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a harder trail for SoCal.
Yeah, I do want. I have yet, in all my years out here, just haven't been out to the Buttes, and you see it on TV, and it looks cool. It's kind of Sand Hollow-esque,
Yeah.
where there's just a lot of different
Notches and stuff.
notches and crevasses and little hill climbs and off camber.
The Dodge did good versus the Jeep. The Jeep would have been open and cold, and I probably would have stayed in camp more.
Yeah, so
know?
you like your tow rig now? You like having a tow rig now that you got brakes and it moves?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it worked. It worked, and it is good, but for some reason, I don't have any trust in it.
Dude, I was cringing when you were talking about those brakes going out on your toe, and I was like, holy heck, that's like one of
They're
my
still
worst fears.
spongy. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Still
something.
spongy.
Something ain't right with it.
Don't get in front of Mike Austin if you're between Hammertown and Arizona.
Right.
Well, open and dusty. Let's hear a little bit about that flat fender you were pulling up.
My flat fender?
No, the one you're trying to go back door with.
Oh,
Was
right,
it back?
right,
No,
right.
not back door.
So that's
Chocolate
He
Thunder.
blew up the internet. I looked last night. He had 4.5 million views on it.
Oh my God.
What?
Sean's flatty when he ghost rided it off off that ledge.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
so,
it was dope.
So my buddy Sean, the guy I'm camping next to, he has a stock flat fender. It's a green flat fender body on top of a Roxor frame.
Roxor.
So
Roxor,
yeah. So it's
yeah.
basically
Okay.
a Roxor with a wheelless
Yeah,
body. on it.
Mahindra Roxor.
So he got it wedged. Was getting off camber. He has no roll bar in it. So
Oh, my
it kept wanting
God.
to flop over.
No top.
So
Where's
he-
this?
No
This is on
top
back
at
door?
all. The
No,
whole
this
top
was,
section's
some
gone.
rocky section that they know of, like out somewhere by like Cougar.
Oh,
Buttes
this
or
was on
something.
IG a week ago or something.
No,
I saw-
that, a couple days ago.
Couple
yeah.
days
Yeah.
ago,
So it's
okay.
been up for like 3 days, I think now.
he was ghost riding the whip.
Well, he's done it before. He's done it a lot. It'll get stuck, and you get him out with the extra weight, and it comes up a little, and then he rocks it, and it'll go itself, but it usually stalls. So like, and this
Oh, I
time,
saw that video.
this
This is the one
time
where
it gripped. It gripped. It went over and it hung a right and didn't turn off, and it shot right off a cliff.
man.
And the ledge is bigger than back door. He said it's way bigger than the back door.
Wow.
So it face planted and flopped right down to the top, and then it blew the internet up. And my goal is if I actually wakes up, he's been sleeping till like we've been up really late. Excuse me. So he's probably just now walking, getting around. But I screenshotted all these negative comments, and I'm gonna just go read them to him and see what he says.
Oh, nice.
And record that. That's my actual plan for out here, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, boy.
But because
Those keyboard warriors.
everybody has their idea of how
Oh,
it
yeah.
worked and what he did it for,
Oh,
and
yeah.
how he's an idiot and all this other crap. But it didn't hurt the Jeep. The Jeep actually has a ding on the cowl, like
Really?
about the size of a dog bowl. That's tucked in. And then the steering wheel clearly was bent. He just bent that shit back with a high lift jack.
That steering wheel is like
Wow.
2 feet wide.
Yeah,
Well, it's Armstrong steering.
It's in his lap.
yeah, exactly. He's got the stock steering wheel for it. It's
Yeah.
a monster.
Yeah.
But that's all bent. And he just straightened everything back up. And then he and I were driving around. Like, we took it up Chocolate Thunder on Wednesday night. That was pretty cool.
You went up Chocolate Thunder?
We got as far as it would go.
Oh,
We got
okay.
up to those big, the
Dude,
one
there's-
rock you got to get up on
Yeah,
the left.
far left.
Yeah, that's it. We
That's
couldn't get over that.
easy line now, which is gnarly.
Yeah.
The center line is a wall, but doable.
Yeah.
And then the far right is just that's like buggy 40 plus tire,
Yeah,
43 stickies.
43 sticky territory.
Sean's a really good dude. He's crazy as hell, man.
Well, apparently.
And they were tug of warring in the camp with with another
Oh,
flatty.
yeah, you were telling me about
It was
that.
dragging him over the fire pit.
Oh man.
So, or not fire pit, but the
Yeah.
log pile.
Oh jeez.
That's how you lost, is you got drug over. So it was pretty awesome, man.
pretty rowdy over there.
Yeah,
telling you.
Arizona crew, man, you should have stepped in. They're like literally right here.
Well, yeah. You like pulled into our camp, and then you're like, you guys are lame, and
You know
then
what's
left.
You know what's crazy is at your camp I met Ford Fascist from Pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that dude was awesome, man. He who's the guy that has the Vagabond?
Phil.
Phil.
Yep.
Phil. Yeah, him and Phil were going at it at night.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
very end of the camp.
That's
And Phil
great.
looks at him and Phil's all, F you, man. He's like, why you gotta hate dogs? And then he's like, I'm going to bed. He was so disappointed in humanity. But he was pretty hammered, dude.
Yeah,
So
well, imagine that.
there's
King
some
of
good
the
times,
Hammers.
man. Where were you, Jason? You were out, maybe?
Volunteered
What
me
night?
last night?
No,
two
this is
nights.
No.
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Oh,
No,
I was golf cart. I was still up on Chocolate Thunder. I was on
Oh.
Chocolate Thunder all day Thursday
Oh, okay.
and evening.
Gotcha.
And I radioed in to race ops, and I go, "Hey, we're done. We got no more cars. It's after." I thought 5 o'clock the race ended, or 4 o'clock. And then they said, "No, you need to stay till 5." And then they said, "No, you need to. One more car coming." Down her problem, and I'm looking at the tracker. It doesn't show it. We wait a half an hour. It's dark.
Was that 118?
I don't know what it was.
We had to wait a long time
And
for
then
118.
I go, we got no vehicle, and the natives are getting restless up here. They're wanting to open the course. They're going to start throwing beers at us if we don't get, freaking Chocolate Thunder open soon. And so and we had a couple people come down to us. Hey, when's it going to open? I said, hey, I haven't been cleared by race ops. Finally got cleared by race ops, and I get out of there. So drove the buggy down the center line and out. Ray's like, we should go up top. I go, hell no, we're in the middle of Chocolate Thunder. We got to go down. It's the quickest way, and I want to get the heck out of here. And then James and I dropped the gate, and then it was game on Donkey Kong after that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
and I
pretty
was
good
so
in there, too.
tired. Yeah, so got back, and then I was going to take a shower right away, but then I let Ray, because he fell down hard that day. And, so I started sampling some bourbon, and then the rest was history.
And that was the
Ended up
night of the
taking a
big
shower at 1
the
o'clock
shit
that
show
night.
recording.
Yeah, it was a shit show recording night. So that's where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up closing your camp
Yeah.
that night. It was just me, that fascist, and Phil guy.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
They were cool, though. It was cool to catch up with people. I met that dude originally on Pirate and then actually met him in Moab.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see him here was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was with you guys, but he wasn't.
No.
He just wandered over.
We had a lot of it was super cool. I
Yeah.
got to say, this week there was a lot of people that wandered into camp. Obviously Amber brings a lot of celebrity status over here with her groupies, and it was super cool. I mean, we had
Yeah.
like 10 samurais in camp one night.
That's right.
Yeah, and then of course the Ultra 3 race going on across from us. So
Yeah.
it went really well this week. I'm super pleased. The weather was great. Just that one windy day.
Yeah.
The cold in the last 2 mornings. It is what it is. You're in the desert, and right now it's shorts weather. So if you
Yeah.
don't like it, wait 5 minutes.
Pretty much.
That sun's going to go down tonight, and it's going to get bitter cold again. But
I will say it has been. The mornings have been colder this year than in any year past.
you think so?
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah, we have been in the 20s consistently. Huh?
I've seen teens.
You've seen teens?
Yeah, which I've never. It was like, wow, that's cold.
Was
But
it in your camper teens or?
No, come
Oh,
on,
they were
really?
outside your camper.
Wow.
Okay, just asking.
I had a frozen.
I have a daughter that's a teenager, dude.
Yeah, you do.
I had a beer sitting on the trailer, just like the last gulp
Sure,
of the beer,
sure.
sitting on the fender of the trailer, and it was slush this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
That's alcohol freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
it was
I was like,
freaking cold.
damn, dude.
Freaking
Probably
cold.
4% alcohol.
I got a funny picture.
Oh, you got a funny picture?
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
This
how's
is
that going to
Sean's-
work out for the
It's
internet?
Sean's buggy. What do you see?
Oh, ice.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was water pump.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Damn.
I was like, I wonder if he knows that.
That's not very green.
holy shit.
Somebody,
Oh, he's got a
somebody's
bucket,
got no radiator.
Yeah,
I've got a great.
Oh, I wonder if he blew. He right? There is no
There's,
green in
yeah, no, he blew.
Yeah.
The blue seal.
oh no.
He's
Does
done.
the seal know
the
it?
front, like freeze.
Yeah,
pump.
yeah, yeah.
Yikes. I wonder if he knows that.
He might now.
He will soon.
Oh, that's
There was a
bummer.
speaking of ice, so there was a cool shot this morning. You'd walked away from me, but Jimmy was there from the Snail Boys, and one of the flags, the feathers, the Nitto, I think it was a Nitto feather flag or whatever, that's right by the start-finish line, and everybody was lined up, all the cars lined up, and there was icicles hanging down from the flag because a water truck had come through last night and watered it or whatever, but it was icicles, and it was just cool. It really showed how freaking cold it was on track.
Was it you that told me about the porta potties
Yeah, I
this
was just-
morning?
Yeah, oh,
Go
talk
through
about
that,
your
yeah.
porta potty story. This is great.
Is there more urine on you on this one?
No.
Okay.
No, but I use Porta John as an ice skating ring. So I don't,
Junk,
because I don't
junk,
have
junk.
a toilet, I have to go down to the Porta Johns to go to the bathroom, right? So I'm heading in there, and they always clean them in the morning, get them ready for the day.
Get fresh.
And they just hose them all down. So with whatever. I open the door and the entire thing is an ice cave. It's on the wall. I smashed the wall. I get hit the wall and the ice was falling off. So the floor's all frozen. The toilet lid is frozen.
Oh my
so I'm breaking ice on the toilet seat so I can sit down. I was like, what the hell, man?
Oh, man, I don't know. My toilet seat's
steaming
heated.
pile of crap is legit. You open it up and it legit steams.
Wheeling wine and whiskey.
No, that's the Mike and Mike's podcast.
If you want to hear more comedy, come over to the show. Mike and Max's Off-Road Podcast. Mike and Lee's Off-Road Fill-In Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, Lee, are you going to be his new co-host?
I'm down. I'm in. Do I need a 7
Dude,
slot?
you wheel hard.
You need a road trip. You'll need a road trip down to Phoenix every
And he
week.
did the first part of Fordyce?
And you talk almost
did.
as much as Max.
Oh well. I'm the guest of a guest here, so I'm trying to
I think you should
stay cool.
apply.
Stay cool.
Yeah,
You should
exactly.
apply.
All
Have you ever
right.
seen the movie Strange Wilderness?
No.
No.
Oh, never mind then. This joke will go right over your head. and won't
okay.
be funny.
Oh, shit. No one
So
be fucking
there's an
funny.
interview scene in Strange Wilderness, and just watch it. And this
Yeah.
is Lee. Never mind.
I got homework now.
You could edit
Perfect.
that.
Exactly. No, it's gonna
I got
fly.
nothing
It's
else,
gonna
dude.
fly.
You got nothing else?
No, let's go watch
No
that
other
race.
stories? Let's go watch the finish
Yeah.
of the race.
Yeah.
Thank you
Got
for letting
anything,
me be
Lee?
on your podcast. It's great to see you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously, good to meet you, Lee, in person. So
It's awesome to meet you.
So catch Mike on Mike and Max's Off-Road Podcast. It drops what day of the week?
Every week on Mondays, like clockwork.
Yeah, just like clockwork. Sometimes it's like Sunday night it drops.
Yeah,
Nice.
sometimes it's Sunday night, sometimes
Yeah.
it's Tuesday, sometimes it's
Yeah.
next Monday. But it'll be there. Just keep looking.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for coming.
It's
Thank you.
awesome. So glad having you on.
Awesome.
Lee, always a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
It's always
You're
great.
In the hood.
Yeah, come
Chris,
listen.
We're
anything
out.
else?
No,
Cruising
we're
to
out.
camp?
Are we out?
We're out.
We're out.
We're out.
We're out.
We're out. We're out. We're out. We're out. We're out.
Sweaty hands.
So there you go. It's just did he disappoint? He didn't
No,
disappoint.
he never disappoints.
It's great.
How he's not dead, I don't know.
But pissing in the wind, really? And he's like turns around.
This is what you learn this when you're 10, by the way. Or,
And then the shitter in Hammertown being present. That, it's first world problems. It's terrible. But
but they do a campfire for real.
apparently he has a badass campfire and he hates the Peter heater, and that's fine. We get it. It's fine. It's not for everybody. I love it. My crew loves it. It's got a lot of merits to it, but when you burn a quart of firewood at one time, I can't compete with that.
No.
That's fucking Laser Town shit right there. So I can't compete with that. I'm sorry, but if you want warmth, smoke-free warmth, that's efficient,
for 10 nights in a row.
I got you. But if you want like mega raging, bonfire Arizona style,
that you can see from orbit.
there you go. That's cool. So there you go. But there's Mike Raw. I love it.
Always good to see Mike.
It was great to see him. He's super funny, and he's another one that's like, "What up, bro?" He uses
What up,
bro a
bro?
lot. I love
Bro.
that.
Hey, bro.
Just like John.
That's right, John
Allen.
That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know. They had to. Did they meet?
I don't know.
Oh man, I should have
Dude,
got
what
them
up, bro? What up,
together.
bro? How you doing,
That would have
bro?
been
Bro.
a good.
Hey, bro.
That would have been
Bro.
a good podcast. Right?
What are you saying, bro? Hey, bro. No. I don't know if they met or not. I didn't even, John Allen split, and he didn't say goodbye.
No,
to me.
you know what? I think he left like the day that Mike showed up. He's a good judge of character, and he knew Mike was coming into camp. He's all, I got to get out of
That's
here.
right. Well, yeah. I mean,
And he didn't even camp with us. He like kind of set up.
I know he was down.
He
with
did
the
like a
others.
soft set, a sissy set, and then left.
That's right. Well,
He's like, well, I don't
ended-
want to camp with you guys.
Ended up going down and hanging out with the Arizona boys. So
Whatever.
whatever.
We're gonna make it out to Arizona. I'm gonna show those boys how to wheel.
Australia, Arizona, man. And then in Tennessee and Kentucky. I mean, we're going to be doing some traveling. We better get the jet. Tyson, get the jet warmed up.
Holly Fowler status where we just full time wheel.
That's right.
How do I sign up for that program? Okay, Chris.
All right. Well, there you go. So that's the good times. And
So now we're gonna roll into the closer that we had
that's right.
originally, and that will close out episode 145. It's just a mishmash of stuff, but it's what we got. It's what we're doing.
That's what we do.
We're jam packing it in. We're just shoving 28 pounds of shit into a 5-pound box.
Wow. And it just, and we got more to come.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Yeehaw. Okay. Well, let's put a bow on this thing. Let's real quick. We had fun, and hopefully we'll see you there next year. So beyond that, if you want to catch any more information, all of our episodes, you can go to our website, wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. You can also, don't forget about our merchandise. This is a great time to, represent our show. If you're going to go,
we saw a lot of merch on the
certainly
lake bed.
did.
That was super cool.
A lot of hats, a lot
Handed
of
out a lot of
beanies,
stickers too.
a lot of sweatshirts, a lot of t-shirts. I saw a lot of t-shirts.
A lot of hats.
Super cool. If you want to you can check out our Instagram at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. Jason controls that, and that's a great way to
We're almost to 3,000.
Oh yeah, that's our goal.
Almost to 3,000.
A lot of people jumping on, which is great. So
we're pushing ahead.
don't forget, if you like the show, spread the word. If you like the show, write a review, 5-star review. DM Jason on Instagram, and he'll send you some stickers, and you can represent on your car or vehicle, off-road rig, whatever. If you want to send emails to Jason or I, it can be Chris or Jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Lorenzo also has an email address. He hasn't gotten any in a while, or he's hiding it from us.
Is he?
I don't know.
Lorenzo at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com.
Lorenzo at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com.
What about our phone number?
Oh, don't forget the phone number, 408-800-5169.
Yep, 408-800-5169 is our phone number, and we do have a couple messages that we'll play next time. We've got some reviews to read.
Yes, we do.
Next time. And we do appreciate all the support and the love that we've been getting, and it's fun. So hopefully you enjoyed this review. We're probably going to break this up into 2 parts.
I think so. We're almost 3 hours.
Oh, jeez.
And I got to drive home. So
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, on that note, I got no more notes. I'm done.
No more notes on that note?
I'm going to close the book on KOH 2022.
Oh, boy.
Freaking epic. Freaking epic. One word to describe KOH 2022, Chris.
Exciting.
Yeah. It was exciting. I like epic.
Yeah, epic's good, too.
Epic proportions. Well, that's 2 words. All right. I'm done.
We're out.